So this is Harold Adler is a lettering artist. I'm doing a documentary on, and he did a lot of Saul Bass's work. Worked on a lot of movie titles. And so there's this documentary is littered with art that was in his possession, his private possession. Most of it that he did, and then there are movie title sequences in here too. There is one piece. Yeah, you can keep going. There's one actually. Wait.
And I took
Yeah, keep going back. We found in.
This is a collection of over 50 years.
Pat,
I'm anxious to get this house.
It. So I found there is a Saul Bass greeting card that we found in his that he didn't know was there. Now Saul Bass is a very published, famous artist. This is Harold's private greeting card. Would I have any problem showing that greeting card if it's Harold's private? If it's
What do you mean by his private?
he was sent a greeting card because he worked for Saul Bass.
Private correspondence.
Saul Bass's work.
It's Saul Bass's. It's the greeting card that Saul Bass put out one Christmas. Yeah.
So this is the kind of question that you already know we cannot answer, because what do we have to ask her first? Well, how are you using this?
Well, yeah. So I find.
Are
it
you
in the
using it to
footage.
send people greeting cards?
No, I would just show it in the.
Oh, you're showing it in what context?
as something we found in Harold's archive.
Uh-huh. We have two questions. Transformative, yes or no, people? Yes? Appropriate amount? We don't know because we haven't seen it.
Okay.
But my guess is that you're going to show the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a paper card flip book. So, yeah, there's footage of me finding it in the box, and I asked to keep it and not give it away, and then I would show it. But actually, the more important stuff is which I think I know what you're going to say. I think I'm okay. But the title sequences in the back, if you want to scrub through. Yeah. So there. Yeah. So that's the card.
Oh yeah, this.
Sorry, I thought you passed it. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to, start playing it, yeah, just.
You got the original. Where'd you find it? This is the 7-year itch, naturally. And this is the original. I did it with a pointed brush, in practically freehand. I mean, it was freehand, but I just laid them out with a pencil, and I was influenced by Saul Steinberg. He had done something, and that's what really was the influence of this, and it was done, this is the original.
So
My God,
what category would that be?
this picture had the squares, of opening squares. So I did them so it would fit each one, and I knew that they would fit. It had to fit. This is it.
So there's two pieces of copyrighted material, right? There's the actual title sequence and the card. So you'd want to know specifically how is it different from the original. You'd want to spell that out because you don't want one of those big generalities that people would say, well, that could apply to anything. So she actually has a real clear difference. She's not showing the 7-year itch title sequence to watch 7-year itch or to make you have fun with title sequences. She's showing how the card worked in the title sequence. So it's a very clear relationship.
So I have actually like 3 roughly 3 categories of art. So I have anything that was like a Saul Bass original that in a private way, like the greeting card that he sent out. And then like the 7-year itch you saw on the screen is not from the movie. That's the layout board. There's several pieces of artwork that Harold drew that made the title sequence, but they're not in the context of the finished title sequence. And then there's, you know, there's music playing from the title sequence under this to predicate like what, you know, the title sequence you're about to see. And then you have the copyrighted title sequence, which all the title sequences will not have actors. It'll just be the artwork. So, but there's, you know, the music is part of the title sequence.
And so
And
you,
it's still in context, but I have like those 3 categories. 3 categories.
so you already know what I'm going to say.
How am I going to use it?
Because the question is always the same. What's your transformative use? How much are you going to use? And then there's all those little limitations that make it really clear, like, I understand this is somebody else's stuff. I'm not merely using this as an excuse to get soundtrack in. I'm not merely using it as for its original purpose of diverting the viewer. And how are you making that clear? So those are always the questions. I told you guys we'll all be experts by the time we were done. Because it's not that hard. That's why.